Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Appreciate you jumping on. We got some great stuff for you today, including from Smoke Dog, your identity being put on the blockchain in the future. Scary to think about. Stay tuned for that and more. Let's take a look at pricing first. Bitcoin sitting at 60,735, Ethereum 2,373. Tether sitting at a 119.81 billion market cap. Solana sitting at 137.23 and XRP sitting at 53 cents. So not a lot of activity in the charts the last few days. Let's jump into some news, starting with Bitcoin Magazine and Strike CEO Jack Mallers. He talks about the U.S. being primed to print money to buy Bitcoin. Let's take a listen to this intelligent gentleman speak about Bitcoin and the US dollar. Take a listen.
I think the next big step would be if a government that has the ability to print and debase and uses a central bank to manipulate and control and influence the time, energy, effort, and labor of the populace and of society, if a government that has that power is able to buy Bitcoin and acknowledge it, not even the legal tender part, just acknowledge it, own it, and validate it, that would be a huge deal. And I actually think the United States of America is probably in the best position to do that, and where I think they're the most likely candidate because they have the world reserve currency. Like the US is like, we're broke, like we just issued debt. Like we're, being the world reserve currency implies that we run these massive deficits and we issue all of this debt, right? And so we are the most incentivized to actually start backing our future promises with something real. So I told, my chief of staff is somewhere in the audience. I told him, like, after El Salvador, people would ask me, what's the next? Is it, Guatemala, Argentina? Everyone was like looking on a map, looking through Latin America. I said, it might be the United States. Bitcoin's very American. And the United States, in theory, is technology, innovation, inclusion, equality. Every node on the network is treated equal. You can come and go as you please. So maybe I'm manifesting a little bit. Maybe this is less of a prediction, more of a hope. But I think that would be a really big deal. And as big of a deal as El Salvador was, the next step would be a government that actually can print their money and debase the populace through money printing. If they were to say this Bitcoin thing's legit and we should have some, I think that'd be massive.
Good stuff there from Jack Mallers.
I think
now we know, excuse me here, we turn that off. We know that a lot of this depends on the election, the upcoming U.S. election, and who gets elected. As Trump has already said, is very interested in Bitcoin and purchasing Bitcoin. Now we'll see if that holds true if he is elected. And the Kamala Harris campaign has yet to be that detailed on what they want to do with crypto. That we know we need a change at the SEC. We've heard rumors of a gentleman from Robinhood coming over to be the head of the SEC if Trump is elected. So there's a lot of things that have to happen for Jack Mallers' prediction here to come true. So let's move on. Smoke Dog just announced, he says, Ripple launching crypto custody storage for banks storing digital assets on behalf of clients. And he posts here article discussing this. Some of the key points, it says Ripple said it's launching a slew of features aimed at helping banks and fintechs store digital tokens as part of a broader push into crypto custody. Also, crypto custody, a type of service that helps clients crypto's assets, and a nascent business for Ripple, which has consolidated its efforts under a single brand called Ripple Custody. Ripple is primarily known for the XRP cryptocurrency and RippleNet, a distributed interbank payment settlement platform. Goes on to highlight in the article here, U.S. blockchain startup Ripple made a major foray into Crypto Custody on Thursday, launching new services aimed at helping banks and financial technology firms to store digital assets on behalf of clients. So great stuff here. Ripple continues to move forward, continues to offer new services, even in the midst of an appeal from the SEC of their ongoing case. So this is terrific to see, and they must. Obviously, they're launching it. They know there's a need for it. So banks are going to want to use this, and other fintech companies are going to want to use this. Moving on to Egrag Crypto. I'm not big on following these guys. I mean, I follow a few, but I don't get stuck on their predictions. But I do sometimes share this, and you can see here, Egrag Crypto says XRP first drop is going to be epic drop. Are you ready? The moment we've all been waiting for is here. This is just the beginning. Get ready for the ride of your life as XRP gears up for something massive here. And he shows a chart. Essentially, I'm not a chart reader by any means, but he basically shows that we could have a spike of over 1,200, like we did back in, it looks like around 2017. He's showing that if we match that, if we match that jump now, we'll be up above 1,200% increase for XRP. So again, do your own research. Don't depend on these guys. Don't, bank on what they say. Only invest what you can afford to lose, and be patient. That's my motto. So moving on, another one from Smoke Dog here. He says the World Economic Forum's blockchain-based known traveler identity system is looming on the horizon, set to pilot in 2024. This video serves as a stark reminder of how near we are to mass blockchain adoption. Imagine a world where every individual's identity, data, and whereabouts are tokenized and monitored by governments. Digital identities are not just coming, they are an impending reality. So let's take a look at Smoke Dog's video on this. This is, it's scary. If just knowing how these the World Economic Forum operates and how they don't like citizens having their privacy is concerning, annoying, all the above. So take a listen.
With the number of international arrivals expected to grow 50% by 2030, travelers need seamless ways to cross borders that also protect national security while protecting their personal data. The Known Traveller Digital Identity, or KTDI, is a public-private collaboration that enhances security efforts while enabling a connected journey for today's international traveller. The KTDI is the only global travel initiative of its kind. Travellers can share documentation and information from one verified identity with partners including government authorities, airlines, and hotels. The KTDI allows travellers to play an active role in travel security efforts by sharing their information proactively. Travellers always retain control over what, when, and with whom they share their information. Each data element shared by the traveller is verified, accurate, and consistent every time. This is made possible by the technologies of distributed ledger, cryptography, and biometrics. As more data and information is added, travellers build more enriched profiles that build trust with each partner interaction. Let's follow one example of what the journey could look like for future travellers. After travellers download the KTDI app and create their profile, governments provide and authenticate the traveller's identity data based on their passport or government-issued digital ID. Biometrics will link the digital identity with the physical person and their national identity document. When approved, profiles are securely stored and encrypted in individual identity wallets. These contain the original government attestation and additional attestations as proof of the traveller's history of border crossings, plane trips, and hotel check-ins. When a traveller shares required identity information, the attributes they share are checked and validated through encrypted links to their source information. Whether the traveller is booking a flight, boarding a plane, or entering a destination country, the travel provider or government authority can be sure that the information shared is authentic and verified by the issuing organisation. Travellers could also send their information to authorities in advance of departure, allowing travellers that are deemed low risk to be screened sooner and processed faster. Hotels could offer self-service check-in via facial recognition to ensure travellers are who they say they are. Throughout the journey, the Known Traveller Digital Identity creates one connected process to build trust, encourage travel, and allow precious security resources to focus on the areas of greatest need. Components of the known traveller digital identity will be championed by the governments of Canada and the Netherlands. Additional partners include Air Canada, KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, Toronto Pearson International Airport, Montreal Trudeau International Airport, and Amsterdam Airport Schiphol, in collaboration with the World Economic Forum and Accenture. The known traveller digital identity will be piloted this year, unlocking the power to change how we travel.
There you have it. I mean, they're already doing the facial recognition, which I think you can use if you don't have picture taken, but face recognition. Again, to scan it, actually, you just have to ask without them to not participating. Some of it looks like it's going to make more things efficient, checking in as well, things of that nature, but not much moving on to crypto geek here. Breaking says a transaction that claims central banks are stalling the dollar just it's clear this is about crypto XRP located in so let's take a listen to this.
For many decades, the dollar has been the reserve currency, and the system is what I would describe as long in the tooth. And the central bankers are trying to bring in a new system, but it's not ready to go yet. And we're in a period of great change and uncertainty where the central bankers are trying to keep the dollar system going and accelerate. So they're trying to lengthen the dollar system, and then they're trying to accelerate bringing in the new system. So I describe the new system as the end of currencies. So we're not bringing in a new currency. We're essentially bringing in a new transaction system that will be all digital and essentially end currencies as we know them. So what they're trying to do involves essentially all the money on the planet. So it's big, it's complicated, it's messy. For many decades, the dollar has been the reserve currency.
There you have it. I think that woman says it all there, and it certainly does seem like that's the case with their stalling with the U.S. dollar. They're stalling for the banks to catch up. We shall see. Thank you for jumping on. We'll see you on the flip side.